Well, we're back, Ben Masters, and right now I'm hearing the familiar music of the former NWA World Tag Team Champions, former NWA Rampage Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champions. Right now, men without a title, but they've got something to say, I think.
Well, they had to relinquish the RPW Tag Team Championship in order to meet the requirements of the NWA World Tag Team Championship. And then once they lost that to the former champions and now the champions, the Dark City Fight Club, they're finding themselves without championship belts, and we're seeing a tournament which will actually take place today, the end of it, to name new RPW Tag Team Champions.
What's good, Warner Robbins? Exactly, but it's all good. As we stand here right now, we're looking a little bit light, because one, we don't have our NWA World Tag Team titles anymore. Two, we do not have our RPW Tag Team titles anymore. So let me tell you this. My big homie right here has vowed take a vow of silence until we get our titles back. But on that note, it's a little bit of change. It seems that Hot Like Lava and a bunch of other ones are all in a tag team tournament, and that's convenient that we are not in it. But Murder One, AJ Steele, we ain't the type of brothers that cry. So from here on out, in our goal to regain all of our titles, we will take out any team in that locker room, in this world, in this universe, to get back what's rightfully ours. Whether you roll with us or we don't like you, the beatdown will still be the same. So you people don't get it twisted if we break one of your people's necks. It's all about business. It's about usual suspects business. And we're gonna start our climb back to the titles right now.
Former NWA World Tag Team Champions, the usual suspects, AJ Steele and Murder One, will be in action. Interesting to see them without titles since they had so many recently. And this tag team they're facing, fan favorites, Marvelous Michael Stevens and Drew Adler, they aren't dancing as much as usual. Maybe they're understanding what they're up against here.
I wouldn't be dancing either, but this may be a difficult opportunity, but it's an opportunity nonetheless, because the usual suspects may not be at the bottom of the pile, but any team that goes in the ring against the usual suspects gets elevated if they have an opportunity to beat them. Inevitably, you know the suspects are in line for a title shot no matter who the champion becomes tonight. But reality is, if Drew Adler and Marvelous Michael Stevens can win this, they're going to end up having an opportunity to become tag team champions themselves. Important match here for both teams.
And AJ Steele, very silent, says he has pulled a oath of silence until they recapture the RPW Tag Team Championship. And now you see these men not waiting for anything to tag in and out. They're going right at it. Looks like a tornado match going on here. Off the ropes, Murder One caught Drew Adler on the floor. AJ Steele battling it out with Marv. Marv's on the floor in the concrete. Full stoop slam by Murder One. These guys are out to send a message to any and all tag teams. They did name Hot Like Lava, who are in the finals, and we just heard.
Well, they're sort of in the finals, because we saw earlier in our show, not so much actually. Crew Jones here, Sean Banks not here. Now Chip Day has been placed on the team, so we sort of have a Jimmy Rave approved Lava team.
Absolutely. Whoever thought we'd see that, and it will be coming up right after this match on Rampage Pro Wrestling. Join us live Sunday afternoon, June the 5th, for more outstanding action, including RPW Heavyweight Champion Bull Buchanan defending that title against former WWE Superstar, the big man, Luke Gallows, a main event anywhere in the country, tomorrow afternoon, June 5th at 2 p.m.
What a tremendous match that is going to be. And right now, what a tough match this has become for Drew Adler. Been in here since the beginning. Marvelous Michael Stevens taken out on the outside by AJ Steele. Murder One was all over Drew Adler. Now AJ Steele all over Drew Adler. Adler's had no opportunity to get any offense so far in this match. And right now, what he needs to do is break free and tag the fresh man in, Marvelous Michael Stevens.
And you see Murder One right there in the face of Drew Adler trying to psych the man out. These guys have one thing and one thing only in the back of their mind, is getting back what they feel is rightfully theirs, and they know it's not to be handed to them. They're going to have to fight their way back up, and if you ever saw men that are willing to fight, it's certainly these two men.
And they're just lighting Drew Adler up in the corner. Started by stomping a mud hole in him. Now they're slapping it. And you can see the handprint starting to form on the chest of Drew Adler.
And Adler now in a bad way, reaching out a long way from where he needs to attack his partner. And marvelous Michael Stevens reaching out, but certainly reluctantly, knowing what he's doing in there against. These guys are incensed. If you thought usual suspects were dangerous before, I believe they're even twice as dangerous now because they are men on a mission.
Very much so are they men on a mission, and I'm not talking about Sir Mo and Mabel.
No. Good leg trip takedown, then with a drop toe hold, comes off the ropes. And look at that, caught him with that whole body, the back now across it, pushing that face down and almost got it.
He was low with that senton on the body, and I think he did that deliberately. They've been working on the back, and I think he was going in to get a little more pressure on the back. Now right back up top with a forearm. Adler into the ropes, tossed in, goes for a clothesline, ducked through by Adler, catches him with a spinning sidekick. Marvelous Michael Stevens is in, uses him as a foundation. There was a tag, I guess, before that. I missed it. Referee didn't.
That's what counts, but the referee sees, and now he's got that arm locked and barred. Applying the pressure now to the shoulder of Murder One, and has Murder One right where he needs him, control the man. You know, marvelous Michael Stevens, great, phenomenal athlete, often maybe taken for granted because of the fact he comes in with the feathers and the high flying, dancing and stuff that the man can wrestle. And so can Drew Adler. Drew Adler's come a long way in Rampage Pro Wrestling. And we've seen these two as a tag team many times, so they're well equipped. They know each other very well, but they also have to know what's in front of them. Snap mare now by Drew Adler, and driving those knees, they know exactly what they have to do to get the job done here. It's not going to be an easy task.
Well, Adler's trying to get a little back for what happened to him in the early part of this match. He's been hitting him hard, 3 knees in the back, came in hard with blows to the head. He's not holding anything back, and now they've hooked him for a double suplex, takes Murder One over. Now it's the usual suspects in trouble in this match. I don't think we expected that.
I didn't either, and AJ Steele almost came in for a save, didn't have to. Good double behind now, applying the pressure now around the waist and chest of Murder One. And marvelous Michael Stevens trying to control his man, sinks down low, trying to keep him down. And trying to keep the man off of his feet would be a great move for him. And dangerous close to that corner as AJ Steele reaches out. He does not want that to happen. We've seen AJ Steele come in. We call the Bright Superman. This man has phenomenal powers, especially when he's angry.
Well, Murder One fighting his way out the way he can, getting to his feet with repeated punches, but caught with a Russian leg sweep there, taken right back down. Float over's got him hooked. Only a 2 count.
Again, a close call. And Murder One finding himself now back in no man's land in that corner. Tag is made. Drew Adler comes in. Good schoolboy rolls him up. Not quite it. And now look at that, wrenching around the waist now with those legs. And one thing that Drew Adler has is legs, and he's got some powerful legs. Applying the pressure now with the leg scissors across the waist of Murder One. Murder One being controlled now by Adler and Steele.
And that makes it awfully tough for the big man to breathe. And if he can't breathe, he can't get that necessary oxygen to the brain. And that's going to affect his ability to think in this particular match. It all ties together. Drew Adler's smart right here, taking advantage of the size of his legs to get the greatest impact across the body of Murder One. You can see that Murder One desperately needs to get out of this maneuver and get over to the fresh man, AJ Steele, on the outside. Totally the same situation we had a while ago when Drew Adler was in a bad way, and it was Murder One holding on to him, and he needed to get over to Michael Stevens. Back and forth match so far, and a good match so far by both teams.
Great to see Adler and Stevens realizing what they have to do here, and they are a very well-oiled tag team combination, and certainly a totally different style from the usual suspects. But they're using what they know, their mat knowledge, but you have to remember Murder One has held just about every title there is. He's a champion, former RPW heavyweight champion, and he certainly knows how to wrestle as well as brawl with the best of them. So right now he's having to learn how to out-wrestle a man who right now has him in a bad predicament.
And there's the tag in right now, Marvelous Michael Stevens. You know, I've noticed a little greater intensity throughout this match from both Drew Adler and Marvelous Michael Stevens. You know, some of that may have to do with the overt rejection Sal Rinauro had to them and literally throwing them out of an office that they had with him, abandoning them after he had been their mentor for such a long period of time.
Now you see Marvelous Michael Stevens. The man comes up, arm whips in reverse now by Murder One. Caught him with a high backdrop, and Murder One goes straight down, not able to make that tag right away. Both men are down.
You know, the process of elevating Marvelous Michael Stevens took a lot out of Murder One, took out too much. He wasn't able to get the tag. Smart maneuver there. Drew Adler in, and he was able to cut him off, goes for the pin. And they should be doing that as much as possible. As we've just seen in the earlier match before, that 3 count can come out of nowhere.
Drew Adler now perched on that top ring rope. He is almost touching the ceiling.
Oh!
With that clothesline lariat as he came down. You talk about being hit by a lariat, but from that elevation, coming down that hard with all that body weight, that has to take a lot out of him.
Oh, Murder One was waiting for that. The timing was right. The time was right, and this is it. AJ Steele is in. Marvelous Michael Stevens is not going to enjoy this because you've got a fresh man and an irritated man coming in. A vow of silence, but he's going to speak volumes right here in Violence.
Absolutely, and right now AJ Steele in charge in this match. Comes off the ropes and belly-to-belly suplex caught him and threw him off with a great power and strength. Arm whip down into the ropes, catching Stevens in midair. Sidewalk slam and dropped him hard.
Drew Adler still in the ring, not the legal man, and that's a mistake, but I guess he's going to go flying now, and he does, the outside. That leaves Marvelous Michael Stevens all alone, and now he's being brought over into no man's land, and now both of the usual suspects are in the ring. Catch him. We've seen this before, Ben.
Absolutely. Gonna fly now and dropping him like a bad habit. Right in the middle of the ring, and 1, 2, 3, and there are your winners. Former NWA World Tag Team Champions and former RPW Tag Team Champions. The usual suspects, AJ Steele and Murder One, and a lifeless Marvelous Michael Stevens, and a lifeless Drew Adler out on the concrete floor.
Double violator right there, and you saw the elevation they had on that. Literally held him up in the air for a couple of seconds before dropping him down. Major impact for Marvelous Michael Stevens. Big win for the usual suspects. They now remain undefeated, having lost the titles, and I have a feeling it won't be that long before, A, we have new tag team champions. That's our next match, and I think we're looking at the #1 contenders.
Coming up next, we'll see the finals in the RPW Tag Team Championship match. How will Crew Jones fit in with Jimmy Rave approved? We'll find out right after these words.